In the last video, we talked about quiet luxury. We showed why the wealthiest people choose less noise, less signal, less proof. Today, we go one level deeper. Because before the minimalism, before the invisible membership card, there was one specific thing they removed first: the logo. This is why they never wear it. And once you understand the reason, you will never see a logo the same way again. A logo is not a decoration. It is a sentence. It says, "I paid for this. I can afford this. Look at what I have." That sentence has a purpose. It is spoken to a specific audience. People who might not otherwise know. People who need to be told. In the 1980s and 1990s, luxury brands understood this perfectly. They turned their names into billboards. The monogram. The interlocking letters. The pattern that covered everything. It worked. Because status anxiety is real. Most people, at most points in their lives, feel the need to be recognized. To be seen as more than they were. The logo was the fastest shortcut. But here is what a logo actually purchases for its wearer. Not quality. Not craftsmanship. Not longevity. Recognition. Specifically, recognition from people at a similar or lower level of wealth. A Gucci belt communicates powerfully to someone who earns $30,000 a year. It communicates almost nothing to someone who manages 30 million. Because the person managing 30 million already knows what things cost. They know the belt was produced at scale. They know it is available to anyone with a credit card and a mall. The signal lands. But it lands in the wrong room. By 2005, the LV monogram was one of the most reproduced images on Earth. It appeared in flagship stores in Paris and on counterfeits sold from street corners in every city on the planet. The signal had been copied so many times. It had stopped being a signal. It had become noise. When everyone can afford the signal is gone. The exit happened quietly, as most important shifts do. Not a manifesto. Not an announcement. Simply, a different choice. Made by people who had the means to choose anything. And chose something that carried no signal at all. Family offices in Zurich noticed it first. The partners, the principals. People who actually managed generational wealth. Stopped wearing logos sometime in the mid-2000s. Not because logos were ugly, but because logos had become a liability. A visible logo now communicated one of two things. Either, "I want you to know I can afford this," or, "I am not aware this signal has lost its meaning." Neither reading was flattering. For people whose social advantage depended entirely on discretion. On the ability to move through rooms without being categorized. The logo had become the opposite of useful. It had become a flag. And flags attract attention. In certain rooms, attention is the last thing you want. So where did they go? Not to cheaper clothes. Not to no-brand basics. To a different category entirely. Houses that had never participated in the logo system. Loro Piana, founded in 1924 in the Italian Alps. For most of its history, it sold fabric to other luxury brands. It did not advertise. What it had was the finest vicuna and cashmere in the world. People who knew. Brunello Cucinelli built an entire philosophy around the idea that a garment should speak only through its material and cut. No external signal. Only the weight of the fabric. The precision of the construction. Kiton, a Neapolitan house that produces fewer than 30,000 suits a year. Each one hand-stitched over 25 hours. No celebrity campaign. No billboard. The only advertisement is the garment itself, worn by someone who already knows. These brands share one critical feature. Their value is invisible to people who have not already arrived. That invisibility is not a flaw. It is the product. They did not dress down. They dressed out. Why does removing a logo feel like such a radical act? Because the logo is not just on the outside of the garment. It is inside the psychology of the person wearing it. Wearing a logo is an admission. An admission that you need the external world to validate your position. That without the name, the garment, and by extension, you, would not be enough. Removing the logo requires a different internal state. It requires the belief that you do not need to prove anything. That your position does not depend on being recognized by strangers. Psychologists call this intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic, you behave to produce a reaction in others. Intrinsic, you behave according to an internal standard that exists independently of whether anyone notices. The shift from logo to no logo is precisely this shift. From seeking recognition to not requiring it. And here is what makes it genuinely powerful. People who do not seek recognition tend to accumulate it anyway. Because restraint, in the presence of those who understand it, communicates more authority than any name ever could. There is a paradox at the center of all this. The people who remove the logo do not become invisible. They become more visible to the right people. In any room where it matters, the person in plain gray cashmere is already being assessed. Not by the general public. By the people who know what plain gray cashmere costs. This is the final inversion of the logo system. The logo was designed to signal upward. To tell those above you that you were approaching their level. The no logo communicates differently. It says, I am already here. I do not need you to confirm it. And this extends beyond the clothes. People who do not wear logos also do not discuss their wealth. They do not mention what things cost. They do not reference their assets, their properties, their returns. The removal of the logo is not an isolated aesthetic decision. It is part of a complete system of discretion. One that extends from the clothes on the body to the words that leave the mouth. The system has one purpose: to make the truly powerful illegible to those who have not earned the key. Silence, in the right room, is the loudest thing you can wear. We started this video with a logo. A sentence stitched into fabric. We end with its absence. Not because the absence is modest, but because the absence, in the right context, is the most precise statement possible. The logo as a language. What it buys. Why it stopped working. The exit. The brands. The psychology. And the final system. The signal without a signal. In the next video, we go inside one of those brands. Loro Piana. A house that has dressed the global elite. For a century. Without ever needing you to know its name. That video will tell you more about power than most books on the subject ever will. Subscribe to the Inner Circle. Every Thursday. One idea that changes how you see the world. Leave a comment below. Do you wear logos? And if not, does the person next to you notice? Send this video to someone who still believes the name on the outside is the point. The Inner Circle. Every Thursday.